Well, welcome to all our ardent viewers. We're at Traralgon in preparation for the Queen's birthday match against Morwell next Monday. On my right I've got Andrew Quino, the President of Traralgon. Welcome, mate.
Thanks, Chris.
Obviously, everyone should know this fella here. He's been writing some great articles lately, Keith Anderson of the Warragul Gazette. And we've got a special guest in Tim North, a young up-and-comer in Gippsland League footy. Well, Keith, we've just finished...
And you're Chris Millis, General Manager of the Gippsland League.
Okay, Keithy, we're just coming off round 7. Couple of interesting results, mate.
Yes, yeah. You know, Maffra knocking off Sale, which I think gives a bit more impetus to the top end of the league. Wonthaggi going to Bairnsdale and getting home comfortably and settling in nicely up towards the top of the ladder. Yeah, it was a good round of football. Morwell beat Leongatha, makes life very difficult for Leongatha. Morwell still undefeated. These guys here probably reckon that won't be the case in another week's time. But yeah, Leongatha 2 wins. They've just got to get their side back on the ground and make a charge. They're probably looking at having to win you know, at least 8 games in the next 11, which is a big ask. Their percentage is poor. I think if we notice the top 5, their percentages are well above the 5 clubs outside the final. So for anybody to push in, it's a big catch-up.
Yeah, well, it looks like, I mean, at this early stage, the top 5's, you know, looks actually settled. But as we keep saying, if you take it easy against, you know, your Warragul, Leongatha, your Bairnsdale, I mean, you're going to lose a game. So the top 5 have to be on their toes all the time. Anyway, we're coming up to round 8, and we've got a couple of big clashes here. Because
before we get to round 8, we've got a couple of big things. We go back a little while, which is the Interleague, which is a great win for the league.
Yes, certainly.
And one of our guns in that side was Tim North, who we've got here, and he gunned again at Druin last weekend and played a terrific game in the slush, which you wouldn't be too used to, Tim. But yeah, the Interleague, your first representation for Gippsland?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a good experience to sort of play outside our league against another good league in Yarra Valley. So we had a good day that day and had a pretty comfortable win. But yeah, it was a good experience. Yeah.
And the environment of, you know, I know you bump into some of the guys. You probably bumped into only once before on the field, and some of them maybe not at all. And that sort of getting together as a group of the best players in the league, how did you find that?
Yeah, well, obviously we only come together probably 2 or 3 times, and I sort of, myself, I knew a few players that I played with in my junior days at Gippsland Power, but there were a few that I didn't know, but we seemed to bond together really well pretty quickly, and we had a really good result, so yeah.
Yeah, well done, well played, and
thank you.
Hope you're up there next year.
Well, I suppose too, mate, yeah, like you come from a strong Traralgon family, you know, the old man was a legend here. So how's that been, like, growing up with footy, you know, that extra pressure on you, you know, you see his name up around everywhere? And
yeah, well, obviously you see his name in the paper and his photo in the paper all the time, but obviously, yeah, he's a pretty famous sort of person around this area, but I don't think it adds any extra pressure. I love the club and I'll do anything for the club, so I'm just happy to be back here playing footy for the town club I love, yeah.
Okay, so probably one interesting question. You played at Druin on Saturday and you wore that white strip. Has Mum got the mud out of it yet? Or?
I've actually just moved out of home, so she's actually got out of that one. I might have to take the footy shorts and socks back home so she can do it for me.
Well, you should have put it in nappy sand for 3 days, mate.
I've already made the mistake, because I've done that.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll move on to round 8 now, Keith. First match is Warragul Bairnsdale.
Yeah, interesting game. Warragul just that game behind Traralgon. Traralgon 5th, Warragul 6th. Yeah, they just fell in against Moe last week by 2 points, and that's sort of must have been really draining for Moe that they did hit the front with a few minutes to go. But it's also good to see Warragul still in with some chance. They'll continue to improve, but it'll be a really big challenge for them, I think, more in their approach to the game rather than their ability on Saturday against Bairnsdale. Young side, they do have their ups and downs from week to week and from quarter to quarter, and it's just something they've got to solve. I'll pick Warragul, but they've got to come ready to play for 4 quarters.
So you got any comment on their Q?
No, look, I agree with Keith. I think Warragul will win down there. Bairnsdale don't seem to travel that well, but both sides play a great brand of footy when they're out in the open and running, so could be a close one.
And Timmy, have you played against both of them, mate? I think
Yeah, we have. I mean, we've won against Warragul pretty comfortably, but I think they're a lot better than what they showed that day. They are a pretty quick sort of side and they're very, very young. Similar to Bairnsdale, as you said, they have their ups and downs, but they are quite capable of winning and playing really quick footy and a good brand of footy, so it could be close.
They have an ex-Traralgon player, Mark Colson, who's having a very good season for them and has
been playing very
great
well.
value.
Okay, then the next one is Moe Leongatha.
Yeah, I find it hard to pick Moe. I'd love to see him get up if they catch Leongatha on a bit of a down, and Leongatha have been down, and Moe catch them on that. Well, great. Love to see them win. If Leongatha don't win this, I think
that's their last chance, isn't it?
Their road is very hard anyway, but if they can't win this one, well, the road's impossible.
Q, you got any?
Me, I'll go Leongatha as well. I just think they'll be a little bit slick for Moe, and they need to get their season on track, and I think they'll start this week.
Yeah, they just have to, don't they? Timmy, you got any further you can add to that
Moe
one,
were
mate?
pretty close on the weekend, obviously trying conditions, but I think if it's going to be a dry day, Leongatha should win pretty comfortably.
All right, well, we start to get to a couple of blockbusters here. Wonthaggi hosting Maffra. Now, that should be what you call a rip snorter.
Yeah. Well, we look at, all the hypes about Traralgon Mall on Monday, but...
Well, you've got to pump that up in a minute, so...
yeah, but this is probably a really important game. They're both level on points. The side's pushing for 3rd spot.
Yep.
It's this will be a great game, and down at Wonthaggi, Maffra have come off 2 really big games for them. And Wonthaggi have been around, even the games they've lost, they've been around the mark and done well. Yeah, just for my Maffra friends, I'll tip Wonthaggi. At home, I think Adam Cook's just about ready to have a day. And
although Bristow, the fullback of Maffra, he's pretty, he was BOG last week.
Yeah, but...
won't sway you?
No, they bring the ball in reasonably well to the forward line, O'Connor and Cook. I think they got a bit there. Maffra's forward line, Darren Sheen just keeps getting goals every week and playing well. So, it should be a great game.
Well, Cal Porter, Ben Coleman, the midfield of Maffra is very good, but so's the Wonthaggi's coming up, Lucas White, all that crew. But yeah, I'll probably look. Actually, I think Wonthaggi will win as well. But Q,
Toss of the coin again. It'll be a close one, and I'll go out on a limb. I'll tip a draw.
A draw.
First one
Okay,
for the
sitting on the
season.
fence, mate.
First one for the season.
Okay, Timmy, you probably you would have played them, so.
Yep. Yeah, well, Wonthaggi, I think we went down by 2 points. They're just a really well set up sort of side. We found it pretty hard to score against them.
Yep.
When Maffra are probably a bit more free flowing, but I think the class of Maffra's midfield will be probably too good on the day with Porter and Coleman and those sorts of guys.
All right.
The next one's not a blockbuster.
Yeah. Now the next one's Sale playing your team, Geelong. So, Keith, it's a long trip.
Yeah.
Maybe a longer trip home.
A couple of years ago, these were blockbusters. I don't think that's going to be the case this year. Drew, sort of really struggling in quality, experience, size. You take all the things that you need. They just haven't got
some good young kids, but
yeah, but yeah, but they're not the guys who set up games that you need, and Sale have been there.
And Sale's coming off a loss.
I don't think that would matter. But,
you know, so they'll be pretty keen, I think.
Yeah, and they're at home. They're always hard at home. No matter how good a side you got.
Q?
Yeah, look,
Bit hard to
I'm going to tip Sale. Drew and R are good. They've got a good young crew there, and they just got to stick with them. And if you're going to learn anything, you learn from a game like this. So you play against the best, run against the best, and learn where they run and how they get the ball, and that's all Drew can really do. So Sale, and I'd say a fair margin.
Jimmy, probably without...
Yeah, similar to Q, like Sale should win pretty comfortably, but I mean, there are a few young guys that show a lot of promise in the Druid side, so maybe in the coming years they'll be coming along a bit better.
Okay, now we get on to the big blockbuster, Q, and you better start promoting it, son. It's Traralgon versus Morwell.
It is.
Big home game for you guys, Queen's birthday.
It is.
You've done your press releases, you're out there.
2 interviews today. It's all over the place. Luncheon sold out within 2 weeks, so we're hoping for a big crowd and a cracker game and good weather. If the weather's nice, it'll be good.
So who you got? You got a couple of special players?
Brendan Favola lining up for us. So he gets here Monday morning and he'll talk at the luncheon and then go to the team meeting about 10 to 1 and get ready with the boys. And Nick Stevens is pulling the boots on for us as well, and he's out there running around.
So Nick's passed the fitness test?
Nick's passed all fitness tests. He's got the
Keith said you've got a special neck brace for him, so that everything's right?
Doesn't need the neck brace, it's all clear.
It's all clear?
So he's all good and ready to go. I've just got to find a jumper to fit him now, so...
Okay, so...
He's been in a good paddock since he gave it away.
Hopefully he can get a kick.
Yeah, well, he's still been playing, so he's played down at Montmorency the last couple of years and pushed out five games and 6 games, and he was in the top 3 players in each of those games. So he'll show his class out there on the weekend.
But I mean, Feb's the big, everybody's...
Feb's the draw card.
Yeah, he's the draw card. Keith, do you want to make any comment on that, mate?
Yeah, I was just wondering if whoever wears number 25 for Traralgon's got to give it up for the day.
No, he doesn't. The big fella will be wearing 35 this week because it's the biggest jumper we got. So he doesn't care what jumper he wears. He travels around a bit now and he does great things by all the clubs and the communities he goes to. So we're hoping he does the same here. Morwell started it last year with ACCA and it was a great initiative by them, and we're just hanging off their shirt tails and trying to return the favour. So.
Jimmy, you'd be thrilled to be playing with a guy, legendary name, all that. I mean, is it a thrill, first of all?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's obviously going to be pretty huge for the club. And, I mean, the most important thing on the day is probably to get the win, but I mean, most of the day is built around Fev and that's it. But I think for our season, we really need to win this to get ourselves in the top 3. But yeah, it's going to be a big thrill. Hopefully kicking the ball to Fev inside 50s. So
see if we can hit him on the chest.
So he'll probably get angry with me if I don't. So yeah, hopefully he can snag a few goals and we can have a good win.
Yeah, I think Tim's made the really important point that getting a win is what's really important for Traralgon. I know from talking to Andrew last weekend that they've had a bit of a tough time here at Traralgon the last 12 months with the floods, and it certainly hit the balance sheet of the footy club pretty hard, and so they need to get a good fundraiser here to get things back on track. With Feb and Nick Stevens and the extra one on the interchange bench probably comes in handy for Traralgon this week. I saw Jackson Hall hurt his kneecap or patella or whatever it is.
It's a patella, which
experts call it. But he's got to be extremely doubtful, and another one there. But last weekend Traralgon looked terrific. The times I've seen Morwell this year, they've looked terrific. So I just think it's going to be a fantastic game. I just hope it's a good weather day that the schools can be on full show because they're two very talented sides. It's Moore will have a little bit of a tough run from now, you know, Terrelgan, and I think they have Sale and Wonthaggi.
Yeah.
So this is a really crucial time for Moore, and yeah, they'd certainly be wanting to win 2 of those 3, if not the 3 of them. And I think it'll be an excellent game. I just think Moore have got the side to upset Terrelgan.
They're on top of the ladder unbeaten, so you reckon that'll be an upset if they win?
Well, I mean, upset these guys who are having a big day and the club's having a big day. But,
yeah, all right. Ruin all the celebrations.
Yeah, I just think
that before.
Hey, I don't know why they'd want to do that too, Q, obviously a very strong rivalry there. I was amazed when I came up, you actually let someone wear a Richmond jumper or a Marvel jumper at training,
Yeah,
did
no,
you?
we
I thought
don't-
you'd have them banned.
We don't discriminate at this club. We let them wear whatever they like during training, as long as they do the job on a Saturday. And,
Yeah.
and not only with Fev and Steve-O playing, you know, you've got Dean McDonald, who was at Richmond for 2 years, and Harmit Singh, Collingwood VFL, and I suppose throw Dan McKenna in there, who was at Geelong for 2 years, and you've got some pretty talented guys out there running around. So the whole community, you know, if they want to see good footy, come in and see what the Gippsland League has to offer.
So I suppose one of the things is, I know you got an injury to Chaos, or sorry, Jackson Hall.
Yeah.
He hates me calling him that, but anyway. Who's the other bloke that's going to slip out? Oh no, we better explain. Luckily, that's one that'll slip out, so get replaced, but you actually, because the 2 clubs play on Monday and then follow up on the Saturday, you guys, both teams are granted 4 interchange, so you don't have to make any omissions, do you?
At the moment, no, but we've got VFL guys that could be available as well, and Michael Stockdale and Tim's brother Matt.
Right.
So if they come into the mix, then the coaches have got a tough job. And we have found out tonight that the Gippsland Power boys have been told they're not allowed to play, so I'm not sure Steve-O wants them running around showing him up. So.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, you know, there's a couple of things to come out of it and still some decisions to be made, and I'm glad I'm not on the coaching staff or selection panel.
I suppose the other thing that we should ask, because, you know, we have got footy and netball, there's no imports from netball, is there? From
Not that
Netball
I know
Australia or anything?
No, netball haven't let me know anything, so, and I see Morwell is sitting second on the netball ladder, so that's going to be a tough ask for our A-grade girls. But
Oh, I think Fee,
hopefully they can get up.
enjoy that, won't she,
Yeah.
the challenge? All right, well,
just on Tim there, I'm interested, has there been much talk, you know, tonight particularly, it's Tuesday, as you're here for training, about how you might set up for Saturday's game? Do you know where you might be? Have you already been allocated a player to go to?
We haven't really discussed that too much. We'll probably discuss that probably later in the week. I think we have training on Saturday morning, so we'll probably discuss those sorts of things on the Saturday. But I mean, we've tried not to build it up as such a massive game with Fev and everything. It's just another game that we need to win. So we haven't really discussed structures and things like that.
Haven't worked out who gets shifted yet, Dan McKenna or Sam Dunbar?
Well, Dan's been good down back end for this year, so with Fev in the side, we could probably have Dan down back, but we could have Dan down forward and load our forward line up. So it's a good problem to have, I guess.
he's not giving anything away, and I didn't expect him to. Even if he had been allocated someone, I don't think he would have told us. Possibly match up on Mann and Johnson or something like that. They're both smalls, and nippy, so that would be a good little match-up, I would suggest.
They've got a good mix, smalls, talls and smalls, so it's going to be it'll be interesting.
Yeah, no, it's all looking like it's going to be a fantastic day of football and netball in Gippsland, and Gippsland League on show, so hopefully everything goes really well.
That's what it's about, put the Gippsland League on show.
Yeah, exactly.
Talking about Gippsland League, the big game of last weekend took place in an opposite Bairnsdale,
Right.
where your board,
Yes.
the people you report to, decided to play the preliminary final on a Sunday because Saturday's the election day and nobody would be able to go to vote in Australia if we had a footy game on the Saturday. Pretty big punt by the week.
Yeah, look, what's happened, we have a final subcommittee, and obviously they sat down and put the suggestion up, and the preliminary final, just to set the record straight, it is election day, and that was raised, but then we felt...
It was the main point.
Then it was...
The chairman said it in the record last week. It was
yeah, let me finish, you've asked me.
And then
the thing about it was, we felt that, you know, whether the preliminary finals at Maul or Moe, between Tyrrell, you know, there's a grand final North Gippy, and the feeling was, well, look, we're trying to make the grand final, the preliminary finals, bigger events in Gippsland. So the choice was, let's put that up as a recommendation, and then the concern was, well, do we give the players a 6-day turnaround, 7-day turnaround? And the recommendation was that, okay, let's have a punt. Let's put it on a Sunday. Let's try and, you know, let's make this a bigger event each year, which we have been doing. The last 2 years have been record gates. And let's
change a winning formula. That's really good.
No, improve a winning formula. Let's open it up for more people to. You know, there's people that work on Saturdays, there's people that
work on Sundays.
Yes, that's right. But the whole idea is to make it a bigger event, and you know, our aim is to make the Gippsland League a major event in Gippsland. And the feeling was that by putting it on a Sunday, you know, similar to some other major leagues in the state, they've had great crowds coming, so that's what we're hoping to do. And we'll be doing some promotion in Melbourne to try and attract people.
Yeah, but all the people who go to church, you're going to miss out on them. You've got, you know, I know Matt's lovely father, Russell, the state member from Morwell, would be handing out how-to-vote cards somewhere on that Saturday.
That's right.
There's a few other people around.
So he'd be missing. So
there's a few other people around the board that have some political connections, but they're not good enough reasons, Chris. But anyway, but the final's also centralised in the Valley again.
Yes, well, we made that 2-year commitment, but as I say, we're trying to... Gippsland League is trying to attract as many people as they can, and they are trying to make their grand final one of the super events in the Gippsland region, and we believe that it's worth a crack. As I said, it's been done in other places in the state and very successful, and we can't see why we can't do that in Gippsland. So whilst we might have some players, you know, that might say, you know, we're not looking, you know, we don't want to really play on a Sunday, but it'll be a grand final, and the two teams that make it, I'm sure every player will turn up and be trying their best. So let's just hope we get a huge crowd for the league's sake and for the region's sake.
But you haven't done it for the players. It's the people you've got to worry about not turning up, are the spectators.
We've done it for the people that pay at the gate so that we can get more people to enjoy our grand final. But anyway, anything else there?
Oh, we'll just wait and see what the pudding turns out like.
Oh well, speaking of religion, let's just pray for some great weather on those 2 Sundays.
Yeah, and that's good. But see, you bring up the Sundays. An election is a good enough reason to change the date of the preliminary final. But then perhaps you're trying to encourage people to play footy on Good Friday, Easter Sundays, and Anzac Day, which perhaps in the nation's history, all a little bit more significant than an election.
I think I think one of the things is that all these games, people pay good money and come and watch them, and the thing is, they want to see those games on those days because the crowds are reflecting that. So we just think it'll be, it's worth a punt. If it doesn't come up, well, we haven't done the right thing, people will say. But at the same time, we just think it's opening it up for a lot more people the opportunity to come and watch our standard. So, the decision's been made. The clubs, last night you were at the meeting, there wasn't, that much opposition to it. Clubs the boards made the decision and they went with it.
And that's what we got to do. We make it work now.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work this year, we can change it back next year.
Well, that's right.
So there's always options.
But, as I say, let's try and get this to be the #1 event in Gippsland. We normally get about 4,500 people, so it is a super event already, but we want to just make it bigger again. But to all our ardent viewers, thank you. I hope you've enjoyed that little bit of discussion and the promotion of the game. And
Does Tim like to play on a Sunday rather than a Saturday?
We don't mind playing if we're in the grand final, mate. So,
What about the preliminary final, though?
that's all right.
Any
Rightio.
finals,
Any
any
finals are
finals
final.
you'll play any day.
And I think, Tim being a current player, all they'd be interested in is first getting there. And if they're there preliminary final, they'll be trying their hardest. If they're there grand final, they'll lap it up and enjoy the atmosphere completely. But again, we'll try and close it again. Thank you very much, Tim.
No worries, thanks, Adam.
Thank you, Keith, and thank you, Q.
Chris.
And thanks to our cameraman, and thank you for all watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. See you next week.